and welcome to another episode of Learn English Through the News, where we talk about something that is happening in America. Today takes us to California, and you may remember hearing a lot about some devastating fires that destroyed certain areas of California. And today we're talking about a storm that is approaching Los Angeles and the likely effects it will have. Let's begin. This article was taken from the Los Angeles Times, and the first paragraph we will be dissecting reads thus. It says officials raced to prepare for possible debris in areas burned during the January fires as a strong storm moved into Southern California on Wednesday. In this paragraph, an important vocabulary word is the word debris. Debris, which is of French origin, and therefore the S is not pronounced. So, debris is the remains of something that is broken down or destroyed, and it can also be described as ruins or fragments of rock that are scattered about. And you see an example on the screen. So, the word is debris. Repeat after me: debris. Paragraph 2 says, LA, which means Los Angeles, LA County Public Works Director Mark Pestrella said officials have also contacted properties that are adjacent to burned slopes to alert them of the risk of possible landslides. Evacuation orders could be on the horizon, he said. So, first of all, this sentence that says officials have contacted properties that are adjacent to burned slopes, etc., is an example of the present perfect in English, which typically describes an action that started in the past and continues in the present. So officials have contacted. The present perfect is formed by using the present tense of the verb have, which is I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, you all have, and they have, plus the past participle. The expression adjacent to means next to. So adjacent to is a synonym for next to. And then a landslide, as it says here, is the sliding down of a mass of earth or rock from a mountain or cliff. And you will see an example of a landslide on the screen. The idiom on the horizon means something that is coming in the near future. On the horizon, coming in the near future. All right, we go with paragraph 3. It says Pestrella emphasized that officials have prepared for the incoming storm and that debris basins should have enough room for the size of the storm that's anticipated. He added that crews have been working 24/7 for the last couple weeks, trucking debris out of these areas. Number 1, incoming means in the process of arriving or in the process of coming in. Anticipate means to expect, to expect. And the last couple of weeks is the same as saying the last few weeks. Now, when someone is working 24/7, it just means that they are working non-stop, 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. Even if it's not literally working 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, we use this expression to mean that someone is working very, very hard. Someone is working non-stop. Now we will continue with some important phrasal verbs that use the verb break. The first one is to break down. And when something breaks down, it stops working. Okay? Remember that phrasal verbs are phrases that act as verbs and they are very common. When you listen to English speakers speak, you will hear them use a number of phrasal verbs. So it's very important that as an ESL learner, you understand exactly what these expressions mean. So again, to break down means to stop working. working. And the example here says, my car broke down last week, so I have to take an Uber to work. And this example is in the simple past. So you're going to conjugate the verb from the phrasal verb in the present tense, the past tense, the future tense, whatever tense you wish to have it in, and then you will attach the preposition to the verb. So my car broke down last week, so I have to take an Uber to work. The next phrasal verb is to break in, and this means to force entry into something or to enter without permission. For example, the thieves broke into my house and stole my television. And this sentence is also in the simple past because broke is the past tense of break and stole is the past tense of steal. So the thieves broke into my house and stole my television. They entered my house forcibly without permission. They broke into my house. And then the third phrasal verb with the verb break is to break up. And that means to end a relationship, to sever all ties. The example says he's planning to break up with her today. And that is the present continuous tense being used in a futuristic sense. So he's planning to break up with her today. Then we have some other important phrasal verbs with the verb call. The first one is to call around, and this means to phone several different individuals or places in order to obtain information. So to call around is to phone several different places or people to get information. For example, I'll call around to see if I can find a cheaper price. And this is an example of the future tense. I will or I'll call around to see if I can find a cheaper price. The second phrasal verb with the verb call is to call something off. And that simply means to cancel. To call something off is to cancel. For example, the groom called off the wedding because he discovered that the bride was being unfaithful. And unfaithful means she was cheating, infidelity was occurring. So the groom called off the wedding because he discovered that the bride was being unfaithful. So what have we learned today? We learned that the word debris is pronounced debris, where the S is silent, and it is the remains of something broken down or destroyed, ruins or fragments of rock. We also learned that the expression adjacent to means next to. And a landslide is the sliding down of a mass of earth or rock from a mountain or cliff. And landslides are typically very, very dangerous. The idiom on the horizon means something that is coming in the near future. Something that is coming in the near future. Incoming is the process of coming in or arriving. Anticipate means to expect, and the last couple of weeks means the last few weeks. We also examined some important phrasal verbs with the verb break. To break down means to stop working. To break in means to enter somewhere forcibly or without permission. To break up means to end a relationship. And then we have phrasal verbs with the verb call as well. To call around means to phone several different people or places to obtain information. And to call something off means to cancel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you took notes. Please do consider becoming a member of my channel. Liking this video and leaving me a comment helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you all for your support. Until the next lesson.